Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Awaken Warrior Yoga Show Quarantine Edition. Sounds very official. So in today's show, you're going to get a chance to meet one of my amazing students. I can't even say graduate yet because she hasn't officially graduated because of everything that's happened. We had to put her graduation on hold. But she was an incredible trainee. She's already teaching. I'm so proud of her. I had a chance to meet her today. Her name is Brooke. She has a very strong passion and drive and a very disciplined practice, and you're going to love her. All right, so without further ado, here's Brooke. So, first of all, thank you, Brooke, for being on my new show.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little about your journey. You're also a fellow New Yorker to a degree because you're from LA originally.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Southern California, a little bit north of Los Angeles, and then I moved out to New York for college. Actually lived in Brooklyn for about 4 years and then moved to the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And that's when I really started getting more serious about yoga. I had done a little bit of yoga earlier in like high school maybe with my mom, and I always thought it was so slow and so boring. But then later in my life, when I came back to like having a full-time stressful job, I used to be designing clothing in the fashion industry, and that's when I realized that yoga was really beneficial and helpful to like kind of take me out of mind space that my job was putting me in every day. Um, so I started doing classes about 3 or 4 times a week. And then when I came back to California just this past December, it's been really incredible timing to have taken the Awaken Warrior teacher training. And it was right when I needed it, just when I quit my job, moved back to California, and kind of trying to figure out what's next from there.
Good, amazing. So how long would you say you were practicing yoga up until you did the training? How long would that period be?
Um, I would say about 3 years consistently,
Right.
up like just recently. And like I said, I had done it before. I had some past experience. Like I knew all the poses and what yoga, or I thought I knew what yoga was about. But until I came back to it, these last 3 years is really when I like started practicing on my own at home and taking classes consistently.
And yet your training was interesting because you're the first person to ever zip through the training so quickly and absorb the material so fast that week two was like, all right, now what do we do? Because you had the practically the entire sequence memorized within the first week. And how were you able to do that? Would you credit that towards your background in dance or gymnastics? Like how were you able to absorb so fast the sequence, which most people need the full 2 weeks or need the full 6 weekends if they're doing a weekend course? How were you able to do it so quickly?
I do think that I have a lot of background, like you said, in dance and gymnastics, and so sequences have always just been a thing for me that I really like latch onto. Um, so choreography and things like that, just memorization, but also doing the 2 week intensive where I'm there every single day and I don't really have time to like do anything else but eat, breathe, sleep, yoga. And so I would just go home every day and make flashcards and write them out and practice every night and then go back and do it again the next day. So yes, while I do tend to like memorize sequences quite quickly, I think it was really about just drilling it every single day, like how hard we were working each and every day of that first week as well as the second week. And I'm sorry I zoomed through your course so quickly, but it was really nice to be able to kind of start building my own sequences and try to get a little bit more comfortable with maybe improving and adding in things that I felt comfortable doing within the last couple of days of the
Good,
training.
good. Yeah, I know. I'm teasing you. I was proud because it was really fun. Because then it was like, okay, now what do we do? And then you came up with your own amazing sequence, which I loved. Which is utilizing the wall and really giving a nice tough class. So that was a lot of fun to work with that sequence as well. So that was great.
Thanks. Yeah, I really enjoyed being able to make my own and also kind of bring. I had just started like really missing my yoga teacher in New York and his like really difficult sequences that would always knock me on my butt.
Good, good, very nice. And so you've been teaching online now. So you've been teaching for a few weeks now. How long has it been?
Um, I was just trying to figure that out this morning. How long have we been in quarantine?
I think we're
Um,
week 3 or going into week 4. I don't know. It's a big blur.
I
It's
was
a one big long day.
about it. I was having friends come to my home about 3 or 4 times a week to just do little classes in my living room, just to kind of keep practicing. And I was doing it on my own, so it's kind of like, if you guys are in the area, stop by. We'll all like do it together. So then one day, my friend was like, "My mom won't let me come anymore, so we have to figure out a way to like do it online." I was like, "Okay, I'll like Facebook call you, I guess." And so we just started kind of messing around with little groups of friends that were like, "Oh yeah, I'll join." And it became a little bit more strict in the schedule where I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do yoga every day at 7. Like, you guys can come join my little Facebook call." And then I started getting friends from New York that were interested in doing it, but the time changed there. So I wanted to do a 7 o'clock there and a 7 o'clock here. And so I ended up doing like 2 classes a day every single day for the first couple of weeks of quarantine. And then my body started to be like not okay with that. And so we slowed it down a little bit. And now I'm just trying to find times that work for my East Coast friends and my West Coast friends. But it was straight into group classes, like face to face. And then right when quarantine started, I was already like doing it online. I've been seeing a lot of family members from Hawaii and from Chicago, Boston. So it's been a really cool way in this quarantine time to really get to see people that I haven't seen in forever.
Really amazing. Like it's incredible. Because usually we say within the training, people have to teach 5 classes after their final classes, and I think you probably you're probably at like 40 classes or something like that. It sounds like.
I feel like I have done a lot, and so I really have been trying to kind of plan my own little classes and get all of my friends together and friends of friends, and whoever wants to join. If they want to bring their friends from work, then everyone's welcome. So it's been really fun to be able to do this.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I actually watched, your class, one of your classes the other day. I would absolutely say that, your confidence, even before you started doing all this, even when you were in the training, your confidence in as a teacher is clearly visible. You definitely get the sense that you know what you're doing. Even though I know it's challenging teaching, to the laptop and teaching virtually. It's challenging because you don't have the people there in front of you to adjust them, to cue them, to feed off of them. You're kind of just going off of what you think they might be doing, or what you think they might be struggling with, so to speak. But yeah, that's great. I mean, you're doing it. It's awesome. How have you found yoga outside of the physical practice, but the mental discipline, the philosophy, to help you through these challenging times? How have you found it to be helpful, or what have you used from training or anything that you've experienced in yoga, meditation, breathing, to help you to kind of just enjoy this interesting time we're in?
So I definitely yoga has helped me a lot in reducing stress as well as anxiety. And even before quarantine, just when I started doing yoga because of my job, I started finding these benefits very quickly. But since quarantine, I definitely would say that being able to just take time to breathe and meditate and stretch at the beginning of every day has made just the way that I'm kind of moving through my quarantine, which is, I know mine maybe is a little bit more relaxing than other people's because I'm
You sit there with this beautiful flower gazebo, and
able to sit in my yard and go hiking. I live up in the hills. But I do feel like I'm talking to my friends that are living in New York, and it's much more of like a war zone kind of vibe over there. And so I am really glad that I'm able to bring up some form of a yoga practice to people that are in small apartments. They don't have yards like this. They aren't really able to get out and do some of the things that we're lucky to have Southern California for. But also just that the situation is so much crazier there. So talking to all of my friends and really getting their vibe towards everything, I feel like I've been able to help them kind of like take a step back and breathe, meditate. I've been sending own little private like stretching videos for particular situations that they are telling me about. And so it really is so nice to be able to have yoga. I think that everyone needs to be able to do yoga in a time like this.
Excellent. Good. So anything else you want to say to wrap it up? Anything you want to offer people, or any other tips for surviving the quarantine? What have you found, like, as far, like, for me, I've been very, very cautious of, like, making sure I'm eating, good food, obviously, which I did anyway, but everything's home cooked now. Yeah, I don't think I've had so much home cooked food
I know.
since I was a kid.
It's been really, really cool. I am not big on cooking whatsoever. I like barely even had a kitchen in New York, and now we're making like stuffed zucchini and stuffed bell peppers and artichokes and these like really fun. I'm getting really into cooking and baking. We're trying to like bake different little goodies every day. We made granola bars the other day that were really good.
Good, good.
We're keeping it very healthy, but also getting very creative and trying to learn a little bit because my skills are not great when it comes to cooking.
Okay.
But they're getting better very quickly with quarantine, so I'm grateful.
That's great. Yeah, same here. Same here. I don't think, like I said, I've been cooking. Usually I eat out a lot, just because I'm on the go, I'm here, I'm there. I just grab something quick. So now it's like home, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, juices, smoothies.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you for your time, and I'll continue to promote you. So definitely keep me informed, of your schedule. We'll get the word out. All right, thanks, Brooke. Namaste.
No problem. Namaste.
Keep going. I love it.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Thank you for watching our show. Please follow us on social media at Awaken Warrior Yoga. And if you are interested in our yoga teacher training, you can go to www.awakenwarrior.yoga. So instead of .com, it's .yoga. Awakenwarrior.yoga. Thanks for watching. Please spread this video, share the news, let people know what we're doing, trying to make a difference in the world, and trying to help people during these challenging times. All right. Peace and blessings. Namaste.